What does a win mean? What does a loss mean? And we're not at a point to even have this conversation from a season standpoint, a playoff standpoint. That's how we used to do this, by the way.
Yeah.
We would sit there and look at the standings and we go, all right, if you win, then
you're a game up on this.
Yeah, you're in a pretty good spot and you're 2 within the – No. This is now discourse. This is now vibes. This is how it feels. How do you feel about the staff and about the roster? Mm-hmm. So that's where we are. 3-7 Washington, 3-7 Miami. Sunday at 9:30 a.m. Local start in Madrid. A win does what in terms of the discourse?
It staves off they're helpless discussion, right? Because my main frustration, not only with the losing as we've gone over ad nauseum. This doesn't happen. This level of losing by 20-plus points for 4 straight weeks, 5 losses overall. That's unusual. Doing nothing about it from 4 out of those 5 weeks. No adjustments, no demotion, no loss of responsibilities, no different offices, no firings, no trades. Nothing happened until finally, begrudgingly, Dan Quinn said, okay, I'll call the plays into the headset now on defense. And that was at least something, but again, way late. It means that you actually finally have a counterpunch. It means that you've done something, you've made a change, and to at least some degree, it worked. They've had no answers for a month against any of the teams they're playing. That includes Dallas.
I think a win, as far as the dialogue next week and through the bye week, gets you to a point where you could say they can win a few more games this year. And the expectation becomes that they will, because now we'll have seen this defense find a way to play well enough to beat somebody. And then you have the bye week where they're only going to get healthier. Huge deal.
Yep.
You've still got a Denver team that's offensively challenged. Now, the Broncos are going to beat them because that's a championship-level defense. Minnesota, very winnable game depending on how J.J. McCarthy's playing in that game. But they're not a team that's putting people away, blowing teams out. And you play the Giants and then 3 more division games against Philly and Dallas. But if you can beat Miami this week, before that Denver game and the 6-game stretch, I think now all of a sudden you look at it and you go, yeah, they could win a couple more games. And this could end up being moderately respectable for a disastrous season where you're just completely destroyed by injuries, which is not where we're headed right now.
No.
We're headed in the HOV lane with an easy pass in the windshield at 72 miles an hour and the speed stick on, cruise control style, toward one of the worst, most disappointing, unfathomably bad seasons that we can remember with this team.
Yeah. I mean, it's right there on the table for that 2013 season where everyone said 12-13 wins, NFC title game, next step, and the bottom fell out. It was a disaster.
I don't think they're going to go 4-13. I don't. That would mean, by the way, that they go 1-6 the rest of the way. But if someone calls in today and says, I've got them at 4-13, as has happened in the last week or two, by the way, you can no longer laugh them off the phone. You can no longer say that's insane. What do you mean they're going to win 1 game the rest of the way? What have you seen that makes you think that that's an unreasonable, scolding hot take? They got destroyed by Detroit. They got pummeled by Seattle. They got embarrassed by Kansas City. They got rocked by Dallas. They haven't played competitive football in 5 weeks.
Yeah.
So, of course, they could go 1-6 in their next 7. But if you come out and you play a good game and you beat the Dolphins and it feels like, all right, the gauntlet stunk, but it's behind us. Now they're playing teams more on their level. They're not ready for the bright lights of the varsity schedule, but they can beat the meth teams like Miami, like Minnesota, like the Giants. They're going to be in a lot more games. I think that's what we'll be saying next week.
I think it's, that makes sense, right? Okay, it's like it doesn't save anything. It's not now there's a turnaround coming, they're going to finish 10-7, but it's okay, this is no longer that level of disaster. This is a disappointing year. It's broken, it's bad, all the bad stuff still happened, and it shouldn't change anybody's reality. But it's not going to be this bad for the next 6 games. It's not going to be like this for the rest of the way, and they're not going to go 4-13. Maybe it's 5-12, but it's not going to be nothing else good happens this year, and there's still a point to some of these exercises.
I just got a tweet from somebody, blessed in the DMV, who says if we win, we're going 10-7.
I love it.
And if we lose, we'll only go 9-8.
Because of the math, yeah.
I want whatever that guy's drinking today. Happy hour started early. They got a great bar here at Pupatello.
Yes, they do.
I'm looking over there. I see all the delicious,
here?
wonderful bourbons. I see some Maker's Mark and all kinds of things that I would consume. I don't think they have anything strong enough to rival I don't have a rival
here.
What this guy's drinking to say that if they win, he's got them at 10-7, which means, if we're just doing some quick math here, that they would then rip off
6 more wins,
6 in a row, and win 7 straight down the stretch.
Or we don't go, or something like that.
If they win 7 in a row, get to 10-7, and get into the playoffs, you won't want to see this team in January. Also,
imagine?
I'm not going to pull a Chris Russell and tell you like I'm walking to Ashburn, but I'm walking wherever you want me to walk. You know what I'm saying? Like 7 wins in a row right now with this group. Come on.
Yeah, I'll road trip to their playoff destination in like a rented 1980s car. You know what I mean? Like what?
El Camino.
Seriously.
You'll just drive there wherever it is.
Find somebody's old Datsun and I'll get
Danny
on the
has
road.
to drive to L.A.
Can you imagine that?
in a 1979 station wagon for some reason.
Like the LaRussos did, Karate Kid.
If they lose, what's the dialogue? This is the scarier one.
Yeah.
Now, if they lose really tight and really close, I actually think, as crazy as it sounds, it's going to be very positive comparatively. Like, even though they lost to a 3-7 team, and you're like, you got to be kidding me. When's the next win on this schedule now? Denver, Minnesota, both better than Miami coming up after the bye. And you're staring down the barrel of probably being 3-10 before you play the Giants. I think at least my takeaway is going to be, all right, the part of their schedule where they were losing by 20-plus is over. That's how I'm going to feel. Seriously. The defense is now fixed to the point where you can hang, and you're not going to give up a touchdown on every drive. Dude, they were so bad against Seattle. They were down 28-0 in that game. They were so bad against Detroit.
I think the answer for me is not necessarily for me personally, but I'm thinking about what the people, whoever they happen to be, are going to say. There's going to be a lot louder shouting about Dan Quinn. If you lose another one, you lose this one. And by the way, it's not crazy you could lose this game. You're underdogs, and it's international. It's a weird time. Everything about it's weird. We've seen plenty of strange results on Thursday nights, plenty of strange international results, the whole 9 yards. But if you drop this one to lose 6 straight overall, and let's say it's I don't know, 2 scores, or even if it's close, Dan Quinn is going to seem helpless. He'll seem inept. It'll be like the end of Rivera, where what is it you do? You finally made one change where you whispered the play calls that weren't working with bad personnel into the headset. But what changes have you made? What can you really do here? It'll feel ineffectual, right? Where there is no counterpunch. When everything's going great, you can ring the Brotherhood bell and talk about return to play metrics candy and all the other different things that they do. But when it's bad, you're up there with the same slogans, and it's just not working as you're falling down the mountain. I think the voices will get a lot louder. I'm not saying they're right. I don't think anything should happen. This to me was just you chalk it up and you now say you're back to neutral. Last year was great. This year was so bad. It cancels out. Now we're at 0. But we better start trending right soon, which is next offseason and the next year. But I think the voices will grow a lot louder for Dan Quinn.
Well, especially if they lose handily.
Yeah.
I don't think that's on the menu. They can't afford that. You can't get blown out again now. Not by a 3-7 team. When you get blown out by the really good teams, we can just say, oh, you're injured and they're great. And everyone moves on, and it's like it never happened. So what? Lost season. You can't get blown out by Miami and have people take your process seriously, your culture seriously, your building, and anything that you're doing. It's all questioned, and it should be. It's all understandably, at that point, questioned. Right? I mean, come on. At some point, you've got to show. I'm a process over results guy. But there's a difference between, again, being upset with them losing and them being upset getting destroyed. You've got to show something. And the gift is, eventually, guys, we're going to play a team that's in our weight class. Eventually, we're going to play a team that's comparable to us. Enter Sunday morning against Miami.
Identical records.
A coach that almost got fired a couple weeks ago and is probably not surviving the offseason in Mike McDaniel. A quarterback in Tua who almost got benched. Has been benched in games, by the way. But they have been calling in that fan base at points for him to be benched as their starter. And if he didn't make $50+ million a year, he would be benched. He is so inconsistent and limits them, frankly, in a lot of significant ways. You don't get to get destroyed in this one if you want us to believe that the brotherhood thing is working. I literally feel that strong about it. I mean, I'm sorry. this cannot be a no-show, no-energy game. You're playing an international contest. You told us the team was going to bond. You're on the flight together. And by the way, you start asking real questions about practice habits.
I'm gonna do
preparation,
something.
and like seriously, man, like. Yeah. Are we taking anything seriously enough? Are we doing too many veteran NIR days? Like, all of that's on the table if you get waxed by a bad football team.
And I'm going to do something here. And this is shouty show. This is hot takey. This is inflammatory. This is something I try not to do.
Danny A. Smith.
I will tell you this, though. It rubbed me the wrong way. Some of the videos that I've seen, I'm not saying that's what the entire practice was. This isn't, Chris Russell, Jay Gruden, ping pong table skate or anything like that. There seems to be a lot of, Nationals cabbage relay race at spring training type stuff going on internationally for a team that has as much bad going on around them. And part of that may be by design, right, where you're trying to let them lighten up, have some fun, get back to the joy of football. But I'll tell you this, if you come out sloppy and Zach Ertz doesn't know the snap count despite never having practiced, it seems, for this team, and you are burning timeouts, you can't get the plays in on time, personnel groupings are shoddy, you come out sloppy and you're outclassed and you do get beat by a lot, man, oh man, am I going to overreact. Because I've seen them. I've seen the videos just like you have. We've been passing them around. And then all you want to say is, 5-game losing streak. Can we tighten it up? Can we just tighten it up a little bit? Just could you be as upset as I am? I understand that's not how things work, but I've seen enough of those videos that it grinded my gears a little bit.
No, I'm there. I get it, and I also know, like I'm not a body language guy. The worst thing you do, not you personally, although you sometimes do it.
I've done it
because a lot of us do it. But I mean, the worst thing people do is like they'll watch Deebo Samuel jogging into practice in May for 5 seconds and be like, he's slow and fat. And it's like, well, maybe he's just jogging right there. Are we sure? And the little video at the beginning of their practice where the coaches are dancing with the players and they're all high-fiving and then they run over bags for 13 seconds is a nothing burger. It means nothing.
It means nothing.
It's just the energy to start their day. It's like a teacher greeting you and being nice in the morning to start the math lesson. That's all it is.